Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's evening in the UK. It may be a different time wherever you are, or if you're watching this recording, it could be any time of day. I'm going to show a quick product that not a lot of people are aware of, or not a lot of people use. And what the first thing I always look at is why we want to use it. And if you think about it, we're in the business of data collection. So the reason why I'm showing this is that it's another way of collecting more data. So I'll start with a video and then I'll come on to live to show you a bit more about the app and how it works. Hi everyone. Today I'm going to show you the biostrip and the tests that you can do on the biostrips. I'm going to just show you a few pages, photos that I've done. So this is after my NutraLife test. I received an email saying they've got it and it's scanned and it's properly done. So this is a part of the data collection that goes to the company, and you actually get points or units towards your data collection. So this is the strip itself. This is what it looks like. And once you've actually tested it, you need to take a photo, and I'll show you in a minute what sort of packet it comes in, and the various colors that appear on there give an indication of how your results are. I'll be doing that live with you shortly. This is the actual score. Again, I'll be going in more detail. This is just a photograph of some of the things. What I like on this is that it says good, and I can compare it to the previous results, which again I'll do in a few minutes. On here also is the comparison, to just give you a quick review. So the first one was done on the 7th of November and the second one was done on the 30th, which is today. And it gives you an idea of what's happening on there. So it's very, very useful information. And I'll go through in more detail on each and every single bit of it. Anything green is good, by the way. Yellow or red are things that need attention. So that covers all of that. My score this time is 3.6. Biostrip scan successfully. Remember, this biostrip cannot be reused. Okay, I've just got to realize, figure out which I'm speaking from. So now I'm going to actually cover live from my phone. So I'll be sharing that, and you'll see. Okay. I have stopped sharing on here, haven't I? Yep. Okay. Share on my phone is murky. Who's technical around here? Anyone who can help me with that?
Sadly, I'm not, so sorry.
I'm trying to share my phone. I've actually logged in on my phone, and I'm trying to share, and usually at the bottom, the share button, I can't seem to do it.
You can't share your screen on your phone.
No, I've allowed my phone to be sharing the screen on the phone. So I've come out of screen share on the computer, and now I'm going to try and share my app, which is on my phone. Devices. Not sure why, because earlier on I was able to do it. No.
You can share them from your phone if you scroll across from the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And I can't seem to find the scroll. Why is that? Share. Yeah. Speaker, Zoom. I can see it, but I can't share it. Okay, let me see if I can pause the recording. Maybe that might be something to do with it. Okay, so NutraLife actually needs another app for it, and I'm opening it up now so you can see it on the screens. So basically, this is where you order your biostrips from as well. So if you move across, once you've loaded the app, you're able to buy the biostrips here. So just going back to the results now, this is the important bit. So after you've got the strips out, which I'll show you at the end of this presentation now, you then obviously you take it to Lu and you wee on it, and that's what decides the colors on the strips. So now if I look at the one I've just done, 3.6 is actually good, but the previous one wasn't. So I'm going to cover a full report and show the actual difference between the two, which is quite good. So if I go back to full report. Okay, so if I look here, it says on the top, show history and compare. So if I click compare, it'll show what's happened since the last time. So the 7th of November was when I did the one before, and the 30th November. So if you look at the significant changes in the pH, there's not much there. It's gone 3 to 4, which is good. It's meant to be at 5. In the water, I was very dehydrated when we last did this. It was 1 out of 5, and it's actually got to 4 out of 5, so it's significantly improved. And then all the rest really are fairly good. Calcium levels are still quite low. My protein for some reason gone. I'm not sure why. I am eating a lot more vegetables, so maybe that's why. And magnesium's remained at 1 out of 5. Again, something we'll look at. But if we go back on each of these things, and by the way, as long as I've got other history as well, I'm only comparing the last two. On each of these different tabs, if you like, we can elaborate more. So if we click on calcium, it says it gives you some detail about the calcium, and then show history. So you can click on show history and it shows you what you were last time and what it is now. I like the way it's actually set up. So it actually gives you more detail. Magnesium, protein. Again, look at the differences. Last time was lower and this time's better. Water levels. Again, you can just click on these and it tells you dehydration, what it should be and where you are now currently. So it's very useful for your health, for a healthy lifestyle, really. pH balance, vitamin C, ketones, sodium, oxidative stress, and glucose, which is important for me. I'm actually diabetic, so that's an important thing for me as well. So just on that, that's the amount of information you get. Now, I've chosen to do mine once a month, and the reason why is because I believe it takes time once you start taking extra calcium, extra magnesium, etc., to actually get that into your system. They say about 30 days before it gets properly into your system. So again, I'm watching the changes, which is quite useful. And if it is moving and now it's saying good, it means that overall my health is good compared to when I looked at it on the 7th of November. So that's the basics on that. It's quite a lot of information there. So that's the strip data, and it tells you on there exactly what it is. Then you go into the full report. The test itself, when you get the strips, what you do is you click test, which is at the bottom here, and then you take a test. So obviously you haven't got any order strips, take a test. So then it actually goes through how you do it. So you get started, you click on each bit. So you open the container for the strips. You urinate 2 to 5 seconds over the colored squares. You wait for the strips until it's ready to scan, and then you scan the strips with a smartphone camera, and the algorithm analyzes the report and your results. So it's really, really good. I just click get started. It opens the camera. It gives me a countdown to 60 seconds. And then I take the test. And then fairly soon after that, you get the results. It doesn't take very long at all. So it's a very useful tool. I don't know why it's not going back. I think it's wanting me to start. Okay, I'll come out of that now. So yeah, that was basically what I wanted to show you on there. Let me bring me out again. Okay, so you can see me at the top. I'll just show you how it all appears and comes across. So these are the, that's the packet that the strips come in. And then the strips, each one comes, you order as many as you want. They come in a pack like that, sealed. And then all you have to do is rip the top off, and then it's ready for use. Once it's open, you can't use it again. That's it. So that's the strips. So before we go on to any other aspects, anybody want to ask any questions about that? I may or may not be able to answer them, but we can try. Anyone at all? You all okay with that? Yeah, okay. And again, the data collection is important, but you actually extra units of data towards your data that you're collecting, your units. And the significant thing about that is I remember once a very, very long time ago in a company called Amway. And I think a few people have been involved here. And I remember somebody didn't like one of the products. And the reason why I bring this up is they had a team of about 500 or 600 people. And because they didn't like the product or didn't use the product, none of their team did. So the importance of using all the products and services when you can is the ability to then increase the volumes in your team. So it makes a significant difference. And that's why I talk about everything that a company is able to, produce. Imagine what's going to happen when we have the Magic Mix, the new NutraMix, sorry, that's going to be launched in the next 6 to 8 months, where you will get vitamins and minerals produced in shots that are specific to individuals. That's going to be quite significant, and that'll be brilliant if you've got a team 20, 30, 40, 100 people. Imagine if only 10% of them start purchasing that. That's going to make a significance to you as well, and also help people lead a healthier lifestyle. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is move on to share a bit more of the Facebook group. How many here are actually already in the Facebook group? Hands up, anyone? Yeah, okay, great. So Tracy, I think Karen, anybody who's actually made progress? I think Karen, you've done a little bit, haven't you?
Yeah, no, I'm working my way through it. I've just set up the Trello, and I'm now going to get onto my LinkedIn and start connecting with people. So that's my next thing, seeing how that works. But I am a complete beginner. I know nothing. So yeah, it's really just been quite sort of not challenging, but I really don't know what I'm doing. So that the guide is fantastic, because it really does help take you through everything, just how to set everything up. So I've been really, really pleased with it so far. So it's just actually getting confident with it and understanding the process, really. And once I've got that, it'll all be pretty easy, I think. But it's just when you're always doing something for the first time, it's a bit difficult.
Fully understandable. Yes, I understand that. I'm not a very technical person. What I will say, now that it's up and running, I'm getting approximately an average of 5 new leads per week, of which about 2 or 3 are wanting to speak to me. So that's quite significant, and I haven't really done very much. Once it's set up, it really is very, very easy.
Derek, so
yeah, carry on.
how many people are you trying to connect with every day? You said, I think you said.
I think it varies according to your own length of period that you've been with LinkedIn. So I think I can get quite a significant amount that I can connect with every day. I think I'm connecting currently with about 20 people a day. But in order to connect or get those people to connect with me, I've or approached, if you like, through invitation about 2,000. And it's very, very simple. I know it sounds a lot of people, but it's very easy once you get it going, and it's all can be automated through the LinkedIn system as well. And we explain how to do that. So again, what I hope to do in January, which will be very, very good, Laura, who actually is the one who's my marketing and business partner, also she's joining us, by the way, with her own Vivo watch. She will be actually doing a bi-weekly training on the actual system, because she's the one who devised it. It's going to make a massive difference. I'm actually not qualified to actually go through it because it's all been set up for me. But the whole point about it, from my point of view, just to go back through the history, was because of my health condition and because I wasn't able to speak to people very well, I actually said I wanted something that I could start training people in without me necessarily being involved. So originally that was the reason, and that's why I paid quite a significant amount of money for it to be actually set up so it could be free for everyone and for your people as well. So just imagine, so if you're a good recruiter, it's good for your people because they'll be able to use the system. If you're not a good recruiter and have never been on LinkedIn in your life, you can start from scratch. If you look at my LinkedIn profile, we don't have to be like people like me, Andy, Karen, etc., have been in the business a long time. You don't have to be an expert. Okay, because what you're offering people is the ability to help them promote their business, not our business, their business, through a system we have. And eventually they will want to join you in our business. And again, we go through how you do that process, etc. It's a very simple way of actually getting them interested in what we're doing.
How do you find out about this LinkedIn stuff?
Okay, John, are you on Facebook?
Yeah, I don't tend to use Facebook much. So
No, okay. Well, the reason why I say we're not going to get you to use Facebook. What it is, all the information, step-by-step process and everything is on Facebook.
Right. Okay.
So that's how. So if you, I'll send you a link to my Facebook, and all you have to do then is connect up with me. And
Brilliant.
once you've connected up with me, then you can actually get onto that. So it'll be easier for you to understand.
Okay. So what do you need from me to be able to do that?
Just connect with me on Facebook, and then I'll add you to the system.
Right. Okay. Thank you. I'll do that.
Right. I'll just go through some of the Facebook now so people are become aware of what we're actually going to be. It's a lot of information, so that's why I say it's a step-by-step process. It's not something that's going to be, that you're going to have to do. What's happened to my Facebook now? Gosh.
Derek, can I ask a question? Just
Yeah,
regarding
sure.
that LinkedIn. Did you say there was any cost?
No. Okay. Just going on to what things you were saying, John, you were saying about contacting people, okay? And you were not sure, but you were wondering how follow-ups were going because you actually had people ask you for the code.
Yeah. And
then what, it didn't get any further because you haven't got in touch with them, or what was it? What was it you were?
Well, part of the problem is I've been pretty snowed under recently, so I've not had an opportunity to really get back to them. But no, I don't know. I just expected them. I put some resources up on a website, and I thought that they would look at those and then go, "Oh, this is exciting," and come back to me. But obviously haven't. So
Okay, that's fully understandable.
I need to chase them up.
Okay, let me give you some guidance and some tips. Okay, most of the people I speak to get in. Okay, let me just go through. For example, I went to a networking event. I don't know if Tristan's on today. No, he isn't. Okay, there was a guy called Tristan who came out of a networking event I went to in Sheffield, and last week I went to a Chamber of Commerce event as well. What I do is I talk to people from the health point of view. I don't actually talk about it from the monetary point of view. So initially I'll start talking about health, especially if they're older people. If they're younger people, I will actually talk about it from their goal point of view. So what is it they want in life? How fast do they want to get it? And then I will actually come back to them and say, look, you know, if there was a way to get you what you wanted, would you be interested in doing it if it didn't take away from what you're already doing now? And most people say yes. So then you can start introducing them. But on the actual sign up process, John, what I tend to do is I really keep that quite close to my heart. So in the sense that somebody will ask for the link and I'll say, okay, let's schedule a call. So I'll schedule a call with Graham and them, or myself and them, and then go through the process of actually coming on board. As you know now, most of you know, the actual process of coming on board is a bit more technical than most other things. It isn't just a quick signing up and that's it. There's a bit more to it. So I prefer to keep that bit really professional, and I prefer to say, you know, I'll end up saying to somebody, for example, John, you know, when I finished everything, okay, so is there any other questions that you want me to answer? Are you ready to get started? And if they say we're ready to get started, I say, okay, let's schedule a call. I'll do it in there, and then I pack things in quite tightly as well, because I don't want to be thinking weeks from now I was meant to get back to somebody or not. I try and do it as soon as possible. If there is a delay, for example, and the person doesn't want to get back till January or whenever, then I will actually say, okay, let's schedule something. Let's schedule something in the new year, you know, because Christmas is coming up or whatever. But then I will actually book it in as well. I don't know if that's any help to you with the scheduling or the follow-ups.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And there's lots of little things I can add and share as well with people as we go on, you know, because the more people tell me about what their issues or challenges are, the more I can actually go through it. And the chances are I've been through every single scenario, so I know what the answer is. It isn't because I'm really clever, it's because I've made that many more mistakes in getting there. So I'd say the last 6 years out of the last 35, 40 years, it's only the last 6 years I've become very, very successful, because I've found all the ways not to do things. And now I use the ways that work, and I've improved on those, and I've understood the psychology behind everything, and I've understood how people tick. And I don't care what company I'm in, I can get people into that company, providing I know what those people want. And that's what it's generally about. I always speak to people on the basis that what do they want? And then I share with them how I think they can get what they want with my help. And what's really good about what we're doing here is we're giving a system. So that's another selling point, you see, because if people come into a business and you say to them, okay, I'll tell you what, you haven't got to actually do any recruiting or anything on your own. We've actually got a system that works, and it does work, that we're going to give you for free, you know, that one of our uplines paid for, and it's going to help you build the business. That in itself is a good recruiting tool. You know, use it, because at the moment, a lot of companies out there, people don't get the help they need. I mean, generally, you know, the big recruiters will recruit, and then the people who are independent enough to go ahead and do something will do something, but the others get left by the wayside. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. I really want everyone to benefit from this, so that there is more people actually, you know, succeeding than there isn't, if you like. I don't want just people at the top. Of course, there will always be people at the top, but I want people in the middle and the people at the bottom also making money. Doesn't mean they have to make thousands a week or whatever, but you know, if they're making significant amounts, then that's good too. Because remember, at the end of the day, the more people you help succeed, the more you succeed. You know, and that's what it's all about, really.
Sure.
Sorry, Derek, can I just ask a question?
Yes,
I
you
just
can.
wanted to know, you know, Graham mentioned something about us, is it like merging or
sort of with Apple, something's happening with Apple. What is
Yeah.
that that's happening?
Well, all that means at the moment it's not live, but it will hopefully at the end of this month be the case. Anybody who's got an Apple Watch
Yeah.
will actually be able to add their Apple Watch to our system and get the NFT and everything else. However, bear in mind, and I do say this, people, my daughter's got an Apple Watch, they won't necessarily be able to get the same amount of data blocks that we get. So
Okay.
there'll be an incentive for them eventually to change over, but you don't have to force it. You can say, yeah, okay, they can get paid to wear their Apple Watch. And there's about 200 other companies as well. I don't even know who the companies are, but there are about 200 other companies that are joining force.
Okay.
And that again is a big thing, because you think about it, how often do you get to partner with Apple in this way? And Apple have actually allowed their wearers, if you like, to benefit from it.
Yeah, I've come across a few Apple wearers. That's why I asked. So would there
Yeah.
will there be a charge for them to come on board, or how would it work?
Yeah, if they want to build a business, as in all cases, they'll have to buy the business pack, which is $99.
Yeah.
And the NFT, but they'll have to get the NFT, the appropriate NFT for the level of their service that they want. But I'm not sure how that's going to work. Again, we'll have to wait till we get the figures. But
Right,
yeah, if they don't want to build, then they can just, well, they can make money on their own data, but it's going to be a significantly low amount for the time being. So really, it's an advantage for them to build.
Mm-hmm.
Or even refer in most cases, it'll be because and again, don't forget, if you've got people as customers also, it's not a bad thing. Imagine you had 10 people all Apple users, you're actually making a small percentage on that data. Now imagine that data in a few months time, it's worth significantly more, double, triple, quadruple what it is now. Suddenly you've got a pay rise. So the more people in your team, whether they are builders or not, doesn't matter. So I think of everyone as a customer and long term. Also, the other thing is, imagine somebody's wearing their watch every single day. After a year, if you take the whole bulk of what they've done in a year and what you've made out of it, that's quite significant as well. Don't just look at it as a one-off. Of course, it might be a weekly thing. It might be quite small, but over a year, that's quite a lot. I had a few people, I had 10 people over a year. That's without them building. Get as many people wearing watches, what I say. Doesn't matter whether they want to build or not. I've got a few people, for example, I'm meeting somebody on Wednesday and he wants his mother to have one. She's an elderly lady. And I think she's had one or two falls. And the good thing about our watch, it allows people to detect that. It allows, the watch to detect it and then send the message to the Guardian.
Say that again. So if somebody old is wearing the
well,
watch
not somebody
fall,
old, somebody who may be infirm or not able to walk properly or may fall, like even myself, for example, if I had a hypo or something and I fell over, the watch would actually send a message to my wife and she'd know then that I've fallen over, and it would be a quick reaction to do something about it. From a detection and warning point of view, it's brilliant. I mean, if I'd had this before my heart attack, I would have probably saved myself from having a heart attack. Because I know a lady who's 84 and she's actually had the Hilo watch well before the data collection started happening about 3 or 4 years ago. And it actually saved her life because she went into hospital with the warnings because it buzzed at night. I think it was a blood pressure and a few other things. And when she actually went to the hospital, they actually said that, you could have had, and you had angina and you could have had a heart attack. You've prevented that. So that's a good thing. Yeah.
So how would you set that up on the watch then to
It's
have
actually
the
in your settings, I think. I
it's in the
forget. Yeah,
settings, right?
if you speak, we'll try and do a training on that sort of thing actually on the back of it.
It'd
So
be
yeah,
nice to
we'll
have
try
a
and do.
training to show how to use the watch because I'm not
Yeah.
still
Well,
100%.
with generally with the watch, what you want to do is go into the app and play around with it. Don't be frightened to sort of press on buttons, because that's how I found out how things worked. I didn't understand any of it, and I'm not a technical person at all. And I just played around with it. And if you go into various aspects of it, I think if you go into device, for example, where it says device, you'll see alarm schedule, sedentary reminder, which actually is good for me.
Derek, it's under Guardian.
It's under what?
Guardian.
Yeah. And then you carry on, message, notification, Guardian,
Oh
So you
yeah,
click on
Guardian.
Guardian, and then it tells you heart rate. Once it goes over so much, warn somebody. Breath rate,
Oh right,
blood
yeah.
pressure, systolic, oxygen saturation, body temperature. So if somebody's got temperature, arterial fibrillation, fall detection is got on there as well. So yeah, I think people don't realize how many benefits there are to our health watch
But
besides.
Apple wouldn't have this then, Derek, I'm guessing. Or
No, and
no.
that's why it's an advantage to try and pull them over to us anyway.
Yeah, that's a
But
big one,
because
isn't
some people don't want to leave Apple because they love their Apple watches or they paid a lot of money for it, they can still build a business and they can still join. So they can actually make money like we do, but without having to buy a watch. But remember one thing, I don't know if you work this out, but if you look at the packages, our packages, when you purchase, you're
Yeah.
actually buying the watch for about $50. So it's not a lot of money.
Mm.
Whereas if you went into the shop itself, you'd pay over 200, I think might even be $300 just for the watch alone, from the Hilo shop.
Yeah.
So there's a big advantage in being part of everything.
Yeah.
How did you get it for $50 then, Derek?
By being by joining as a member and all the package, the 349, you come in on that, and that would equate to if you take away all the added bits, it works out $50 for the watch, even for the 1249 package. If you take away the 299s, etc.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're not paying a lot for the watch if you think about it. We're paying for all the other bits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have anything such as any marketing material off from social media that we can produce in terms?
If you go to the vivo.com site, you'll find a lot of stuff on there, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen much other than that. But again, you may want to use some of the stuff that we've got on the Google Sheets. If you go into the Facebook and then click on the link to the Google Sheets, and you'll see all the information we've got in there. You may want to use some of those. Some of the things I think can transfer right over. So some of the posts in there, for example, I believe can be used in Facebook, because it's really getting people to answer questions, and you want people to answer questions on particular, topics to do with network marketing. You're not professing that you're an expert in network marketing. What you're professing you're doing is in the end is really, you've got a system that can help people regardless of how long you've been in the business. And that's the key thing, because for people to say they're an expert when they haven't been long in the industry is not really cool. And also, if they get asked questions, they'll stumble. So it's probably better to come from the angle of, look, we've got a system, and that system allows you to become, if you like, to become like the experts, because you actually start recruiting people without having the experience that the big networkers have. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone want to add anything? No? Before we close off, what's the time? 20:25. So hopefully that's taught you a few things. So there's somebody just joining us now, but I think we're actually about to close. Thank you for all your participation. Like I said, every week we'll be talking about various aspects of the actual Facebook, and we'll be talking about some parts that you don't learn when you go through the initial training. And if you look at the videos that I've already produced, they're in the Facebook group, previous ones. So the first one was on the actual Hilo app, and then the second one was on the InPersona app. So it's actually going into more details on those. And then if after having looked at those videos, you want to ask more questions, don't be afraid to ask either. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, thank
Thanks,
you,
Derek.
Derek.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's great.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.